back, everybody, to WTL. Where's the Line? Nebraska's first and only sports betting show. I'm your host, Andy Klassen, joined by
Jabron.
the Paw. Hey, Pounder.
You got it.
Jabron, how are we feeling?
Good. It's the last segment. It's about parlay time, so you know I'm ready to go.
You're amped up. Yeah, we got to finish strong. We always do.
We do.
But before we look further ahead, should we take a look back at
Let's
a
do
hit and a miss that we had last week?
Yeah.
And we had Jeremy Odom on last week.
One of the best.
Terrific guest. He was talking about his show at the Funny Bone coming up November 30th. If you didn't follow him on socials, do it. Just Jeremy at Omaha is Twitter handle there. And he also has a podcast himself coming out.
For sure.
A couple episodes that are pretty entertaining, pretty fun.
Yeah.
But he is also a sports writer. That's how we got in touch with him.
No doubt.
For the Right Way Sports Network. And we all agreed. We all agreed on a certain player prop to get us started on Thursday night last week. The 49ers versus the New York Giants. 49ers were heavy favorites.
For sure.
But we all kind of focused in on a player prop, and that was McCaffrey, Christian McCaffrey, to have over 84 yards rushing. I think he was averaging like 132, 126 yards per game, and we're all thinking, he's got this in the bag.
For sure he's got it in the bag. It was, the line was at 84.5, and he hit 85 on the dot. So the over hit, so we can, it was a little bit of a sweat, but we did it.
We all felt pretty good coming out of Thursday night, starting with that player prop cash. But then, of course, we had a miss that we got to talk about.
Yeah, for sure.
We all felt pretty confident about the overs smacking Saturday afternoon, Colorado taking on Oregon. It was set at 70. We thought either one of these teams could score 70 themselves from what we've seen from these two teams. That did not happen. The total was only 48 because the ending score was 42-6. Oregon just took the Buffalo behind the woodshed.
It was just a weird game, Andy. And, Colorado didn't score until the fourth quarter, which really put a lockdown on the game, really made it feel like a slow game altogether. So, no, we were wrong on that. We just thought that, Colorado showed enough that they could score on this defense. Obviously, they couldn't.
No, and that's why we talked about them a couple moments ago with USC. They're going to have their hands full with the Trojans coming to town as well. So there's your hits and misses. Let's dive into the NFL slate that we got in front of us here. The Patriots are taking on the Dallas Cowboys on Fox. That is a 3:25 kickoff. Big D. They are the favorites, 6.5 here. They are 2-1, but it seems like people love to throw shade at Dallas. I know they had an offbeat loss last week, okay?
They did.
But I'm not ready to ship it on Dallas. They aren't even a full touchdown favorite here to New England. And New England, I know they beat the Jets last week.
Yeah, by 5.
But I don't know if I'm buying the Patriots yet. How do you measure this one up?
I mean, I think this is a very good bounce-back spot for the Cowboys defense. Despite last week's result, like you said, remains one of the most talented groups in the NFL. I think the Cowboys will get the stops and potentially get a few turnovers against this New England offense. I think the Cowboys have legitimate concerns on the offensive side of the football, but I also lean with the under here, Andy, as well. But I am expecting the Cowboys defense to be the big difference in this and pave the way to a cover for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, the over-under sitting there at 43. I think Dallas is a good get-right game, and you knew it was going to happen. As soon as Dallas was going to stub their toe, everyone was going to jump out and say, see, you shouldn't have traded Zeke. What are you talking about? Tony Pollard has been your bell cow back the last 2 or 3 seasons anyway, and he's off to a great start. I know because he's on my fantasy. Everybody wants to hear about other people's fantasy teams.
Yeah, they do.
Pollard's off to a great start. I'm telling you, this is, like you said, a prime spot for the Dallas Cowboys to get right, beat a kind of a known team, a name brand team, even if New England's not what they used to be.
Well, Zeke's revenge game as well for the Patriots. So, no, I'm just joking with that. I'm on the Cowboys by 6.5, and I'm on that under.
All righty. I think I can get on board with that. I haven't really looked into the over-under yet. 43, that's probably right on the nose. All right, let's look at our second game here. The Kansas City Chiefs. They picked up, I think it was something ridiculous, like, I don't know, 272 million followers on Twitter.
They picked up one big fan and then a whole bunch of other ones. So, yes, everybody was talking about that over the weekend. You just couldn't get away from it. Any television show, any sports broadcast, they were just clipping right to Taylor Swift sitting next to Travis Kelce's mom. Hopefully it's not that big of a distraction for the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't think it will be, just because these guys are kind of fun in their own right mind with Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, kind of used to the spotlight and all that kind of stuff. The 9.5-point favorite, I believe, is right where it should be. I do believe that the Chiefs are going to win this by multiple touchdowns just because the Jets cannot get in the end zone, and I don't think that's going to start here on a primetime game in front of everybody where Zach Wilson seems to not be able to move this offense.
This game will be in the Meadowlands out there in New Jersey, and this is an NBC Sunday night game, kickoff at 7 p.m. And I just I bookmarked this because I wanted to see this. So Travis Kelce had 7 catches for 69 yards.
And a
touchdown. Gained 300,000 social media followers from the start of the game to the end of the game. NFL merchandise sales jumped by 400% that one day.
Jeez.
And it also prompted Travis Kelce to be a top 5 selling, I would figure to be the number 1 selling NFL jersey. And that was just in one day of work getting the old Swifties.
Yeah.
The old Swifties.
The Swifties will be in full force, even if they're against him or for him. I think it's good for Travis Kelce in the long run. So I just think the Chiefs are a much bigger threat to drop a big score on the Jets, and it will be no surprise if it looked more like a New York's 20-point loss from the Cowboys in Week 2. So I really think the Chiefs cover here. I think it's a kind of a lockup in this.
Yeah.
I just don't believe the Jets can score.
I mean, I'm looking at 24-3. If I had to pick a score right now, that's what I'm thinking. 24-3, and if that's my mindset, I'm thinking this line should be closer to 14, not 9.5.
For sure.
So give me Kansas City those points. I'll lay those points. The over/under, I'm with what I just thought there, I'm saying under.
Yeah, I'm a little torn on that as well, Andy. I do believe that Andy Reid's not one to shove it in people's faces either. So I believe that the Chiefs score 28 to 35 points here, but don't really step on it. I just don't believe in the New York Jets team able to score.
And Zach Wilson, I mean, a lot of times when people are piling on a guy, I try to go to bat for him.
Yeah.
It's kind of tough. It's tough to do that with Zach.
Well, and it's really hard as a quarterback like this to get in a slump like this, and it's very hard to play out of it against very good teams. Yeah. And guess who's coming to town? The Super Bowl champion, Kansas City Chiefs.
And they're getting their defensive players back. They're getting them healthy. The pass rush is much improved from the first game of the year till now. It's going to be tough sledding in the Meadowlands.
It is.
All right, let's move to the Monday night game here.
Move to a game.
Let's stay the game. Stay in the stadium. So, but it goes from Sunday night to Monday night. Yeah. So they're going to have enough time to turn it from green to blue. Seattle Seahawks are going to be taking on the New York Giants. Yeah. The Giants are a 1-point favorite here.
Yeah.
Now this is interesting because this line opened up with them being a 1.5 dog.
Yeah.
Okay, what happened? What am I missing here? What happened in the last 2.5, 3 days where New York flips it, not only from being a 1.5 underdog, but now they're a 1.5 point, depends on where you're looking, favorite. What's going on here?
I mean, I think it has to be the injury concerns with Saquon Barkley and their left tackle, Andrew Thomas. And another notable offensive lineman, Ben Brenderson. So
they're going to do some shuffling up front. They're going to have to.
They're going to have to, Andy. The reason I really think that it comes from the Seahawks being favored to the Giants being favored is it's just at home. Seahawks have to travel all the way across the nation to get to New York. Monday night primetime game. I do believe the Giants really do grind this out with, even if they have Saquon or Matt Breida behind there, I think they really grind this out. Daniel Jones has shown that he can pick up first downs. I do like the Giants at home here, especially in a tight game.
47.5 is your total. Are you kind of feeling the under on that one?
I am feeling the under, Andy.
Yeah.
I think it's the only way to go with these two teams. Gino has shown that he can put up some points, but I just believe that this is going to be one of those games that's really tightly contested, 10-7 going into the fourth quarter kind of game. So I have the under here. I could be wrong.
Yeah, and Seattle is, 4 out of the last 5 times they squared off with the Giants, they've been able to cover.
Yeah.
They've been able to cover the spread. Maybe not win outright, but they've been able to cover very narrow margin of error here. Because I don't think you can lose by under a point.
No, you cannot do that, Andy. And I just really do believe this comes down to a field goal late in the game. Graham Gano, probably 50-plus, one of the best kickers in the game.
Your classic toss-up game here. If you like the Giants, if you feel you have an edge with the Seahawks, I'm not going to throw shade at you either way. All right, Mr. Parlay Pounder, do you have a parlay play for the people?
So we hit last week, $25 to win 142. We're doing the same thing this week, a three-teamer. We talked about it earlier. LSU 2.5 over Mississippi. I believe it's the lock of the week, minus 2.5 at a minus 110 bet.
Lock it up.
I got Pittsburgh Steelers going into Houston, money line at minus 140. I just believe that they are a very much better team than Houston is.
Okay.
That's very good value there. And then I'm rounding it out with the Kansas City Chiefs to wrap it up for me on Sunday night with the New York Giants, minus 9.5 at a minus 110 bet, putting $25 on this to win 131.
I like it. Very similar, and that's the New York Jets. Kansas City to knock off the Jets.
Yes.
Right. You're not mixing those around on me.
Nope.
Sunday night, Monday night.
Yep, LSU by 2.5, Pittsburgh Steelers money line, Kansas City Chiefs by 9.5 over the Jets.
Awesome. Love it. We cashed last week for you, the Parlay Pounder doing his thing.
Let's do it again.
Smacking those parlays. That's what you do. All right. That'll about do it for us this week, folks.
Yeah.
Be sure to follow us on ESPN Tri-City Radio and their Facebook page. We mentioned it earlier. If you haven't subscribed or followed that Facebook handle, do so, because we have a special pregame live show coming to you from Memorial Stadium at our tailgate. We're going to be pairing up with NBNR, the No Block, No Rock podcast. Going to have a lot of great guests. I think we might even have a former Black shirt joining the pod.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Connor Hayden of Corn Craze. We've had him on our show before, so we got guests lined up and down, and it's going to be much like the Illinois game of last year, same layout. We're planning on kicking off at 10 a.m. Follow that Facebook page there on ESPN Tri-City Radios. Set the notifications and tune in, because it's going to be a good one.
It's going to be a lot of fun, Andy. Like we said, we're going to run up and down the college football slate happening that morning, that afternoon, all the good games, all that stuff. Give our predictions for the Huskers versus the Michigan Wolverines. And it's just not Nebraska, people. We got some Wolverines that we're going to heckle a little bit on this as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Make sure you tune in to ESPN Tri-City's Facebook page.
Good point. We do have some analysts from Big Blue coming on over to give us their thoughts as well. And if you haven't already, please follow us on our YouTube channel. That continues to grow and grow. 2.1 thousand followers. Thank you so much, you guys out there. And also the TikTokers. You got the TikTok handle there, giving out those daily free picks. For Jobron, the Parlay Pounder, I'm Andy Klassen. Thank you for listening. This has been WTL.